On the last video, we learned how to extract the file, import it, and decompress the file. And once we have a decompressed file, we need to know what type of file it is. And some of the file types you may encounter are map files, TMDL files, database files, audio files, and TIRF files. You may encounter other formats, but the ones that I deal with the most are map and TMDL files. If you're interested in other aspects of Madden, database might be some data that might be useful, and I believe that TIRF files are like data files. So if you encounter another TIRF file within a DAT file, you can reload that into the data file replacer and possibly extract more files out of there. And the way you can find out what type of file you extract is by opening the file in a hex editor. And I got two examples here. I have a uniform and I have a stadium, but we didn't know that before. And the way you know that is by looking at the first, I guess like the first line, and it'll tell you up here if it's a map file, which is this one. It is a map file. It's a uniform file. And most graphics are map files. Some programs have them as uni, but that's just a name given to that file. So you as an editor can identify what type of file it is. And this, but most files are map files. And the other one is a TMDL file. Some TMDL files are just TMDN files. They don't have anything in them. At the moment, we can't edit TMDL files. So, and some files might have map files nested within them. And, if you don't want to be scrolling to find out if they do or not, the simplest way is to do a search and do a find, type in, the name of the map. We're trying to look for map, and then this is the hex representation of MMAP. So it's 4D, 4D, 4150, and just press OK. And this file, this TMDL file, does have a map file nested within it. And we need to separate those to be able to edit the map part of it. So we do that by going to edit. We're going to select the block. And now we already have the end offset of it. This address right here, the offset. I don't know why I keep saying address. And then we're going to start from the very top, 0. Make sure it's hex. Press OK. It's going to select the TMDL part plus the map file. So we need to unselect this. Press Shift. Put your mouse in the front row and click. Now we've selected the TMDL part of it. And we need, of course, separate it, okay? So we press Control X. We're going to cut. Control X, cut it. Let's open a new file and let's Control V, paste it. That's the TMDL part. Alright? Now, this is no longer going to be a TMDL file. It's going to be a map file. And we need to save this. Alright guys, I forgot one step here. Okay, we can do it right here. We're going to save as. I'm going to give it a separate name because we don't want to edit the originals, okay? This is a map file now. So we're going to save it. You know what? That's the original still. Haven't edited that one. I'm going to save it. It is an mmap file now. That's the TMDL part. Okay. Now you can open that file and view its contents. Okay, so do a map here. This one, and then you can see that the contents of it, and you can edit. And now, once you have your edits, do not overwrite the original, okay? So we had let's tab it, enter it. Now let's give it the same name, but let's put underscore edit. We saved. We're gonna save. We're gonna need, don't overwrite the originals ever. Okay. I made some. We made some edits. Now we can. We can close that. Now let's open that file that we just. Is it this one? Cancel. This one. Okay. This is the one we edited, and this is the original. Now, in some map files, when you edit the file, you don't have to do anything else. It'll just be fine. Some uniform files, some field art files, after you edit the map section of it, you don't need to do anything further to it. On stadium files, and maybe you'll encounter this on other types of files, but in map files, they come with extra information that the graphic editors don't put back, and we're gonna, when you have the original, this is the reason why I don't want you to overwrite the originals, because if we look at the original, the extra data at the end is going to be missing from the one we made changes to. If we look at the offset here, that 10 F770, F770 right here. If we look at the original, we're missing about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're missing about 9 lines of information from the edited version. So, if you just put the file back in there without that information, you're going to have problems with Madden. Okay? This is something that you guys are going to have to figure out on your own. Okay? After you find out a file, you mess around with it, just keep notes of the changes you make. Always check to make sure that the file is the same as the original when you edit the file, just to make sure that it's fine. I know that some of you like to increase the size of the files first when you make changes. but I'm going to recommend that when you first edit a file, just use like the default settings on it. So that way, you'll know that the file works. Nothing else is, screwing up. Uh, Madden if it does crash or it's not working properly. So, we need to copy that information that we're missing here, and you just press the left button, mouse button, so and select the block. Press Control C. We want to copy that information, and we select that first row because it's going to be like a block. Okay, that block's the same. 0A00000. Okay, and just press Control V, paste it. Now it looks like the original. Okay. Now on the Stadium files, they come with the TMDL part, so we need to add the TMDL part on it. Okay. So we press Control A, copy. This is nothing but the TMDL part of it. So we go to the file. We go to the very first line and we click, and then we press Control V. Now that's the TMDL part of it. And the missing that at the bottom. And just save it as. I'm just going to put TMDL because I have the original. I have the original mmap, and then I have the, I have my changes made to this file, and now I don't know why I did that, but I'm going to rename it here. And then I'm going to have my TMDL edits on it. Okay, we'll just save it, and that's basically it. All right, guys. So just keep in mind that some map files need extra information at the end, and so far the stadiums are the only ones that need that type of information. But you may encounter other files. I believe that the stat data, stadium data files are the same. You're gonna have to input missing information, but the most common files that we edit, from the U.S. Common, solo players, portraits, you don't need to do anything to it. You just edit the map file and that's it. So that's basically how you find out what type of file it is, how to separate TMDL data from mmap, and that's it. And the reason I didn't make these videos as how to specifically add or edit files is because there's already information on the website that you can use to edit those specific types of files. If you want to edit a uniform, go to the uniform sections of the tutorial sections up there on the website, and you'll find out. The purpose of this tutorial is to just give you like the fundamentals, the basics of how to get all the files together. So hope this helps, and happy modding. See you next time.